Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to O'Colly Unreported. Today we have a very special guest, a man that just commentated and analyzed OSU's most recent basketball game, or actually the one before that against Bedlam, against OU, the Bedlam matchup. Dick Vitale, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing really well. Just real busy, Brian. I hate to tell you that, but this week I'm doing this because I really enjoyed so much doing the game with Cade and was so impressed by him and what they did to beat a good Oklahoma team. This week's tough for me, though. I got 3 games in the next 4 days, so preparation is really, people think you just go on the air, man. There's a lot of preparation involved.
So much preparation that goes into it, man. Yeah, and so just, Dick, I want some unfiltered excitement from you, man, about Cade Cunningham. Let's hear just your candid thoughts about him and what you've seen from him recently.
Well, I think like anybody that's seen play, he's just a tremendous talent. He's so unbelievably multi-skilled. I loved his leadership ability. We know about guys shooting jump shots and handling the ball, but watching him run around the court, talking to every player, so in tune with what's happening, and he's a clutch player. As last night showed again. The kid was probably so physically exhausted after an incredible performance Saturday. I think he had like 2 points going into the last 10 minutes of the game last night. I may be wrong. And then his clutch plays at the end, at the free throw line, he was like near perfect. I think he scored 14 points, and just really is just a winner. He's really a winner. He's got all the things that you'd want a great player to have. I mean, he's got great skills, he's multi-talented, and he's just a tremendous unselfish player. I think too unselfish. I really do. I went off on that. Mike Boynton, the coach, sent me a beautiful text after the game and said, well, basically, you guys did a great job with the telecast, and we were really fired up for it because it was easy to get fired up. You got 2 teams playing their hearts out. I mean, what they did in the last 48 hours, both those teams, even Oklahoma losing, I mean, incredible efforts, just a lot of energy. It was March Madness basketball. It's really apropos that March Madness is here now, and they epitomized that with their incredible play. I don't often use the term the 3S man unless the guy's super, and I said in that game, Cade is the 3S man. He is super, scintillating, sensational, and there's no doubt he'll be a first pick of the draft, and there's no doubt in my mind by the 3rd year he is going to be an all-star. Remember, in the NBA, he's not getting doubled and triple teamed. He's going to be able one-on-one, he's going to do his thing, and he's basically going to find people, open people. He can pass the ball, he can shoot the basketball, he knows how to use his size really well to invert, go sometimes from the perimeter down inside and post up on people.
And you know what? Cade Cunningham, obviously a 5-star and one of the best players in the country, if not the best. And you look at it, too, and if Mike Boynton were a star-rated coach, would you say he's a 5-star? Because he's done a great job at OSU, hasn't he?
Yeah, Mike's done a heck of a job at OSU. I don't usually hear the term OSU, so it's Oklahoma State University to me. But there's no doubt he's done a heck of a job. But, you got to give a little time here, and he's got a lot of potential. He communicates really well, has great understanding of the game, has great rapport with his players, so really has a lot of positives going for him. And I went off in the telecast about the fact that the NCAA has given him a raw deal. There's no way, shape, or form that those kids should be on probation in terms of sanctions, rather than say they can't play in the tournament, even though now it looks like they will be a play because the appeal probably will not be heard before the tournament, and that's really a good situation. But if anything, they should win the appeal. They should win the appeal. I mean, they issued the same basic penalties to Lamont Evans down at South Carolina, and they put them on sanctions for tournament play. So, I mean, I think they're going to win the appeal, but these kids deserve to be in the tournament. They did nothing at all in any shape or form to create the dilemma that existed.
Nobody involved in the program did. That's what's the most head-scratching part about this whole situation. And should this team make the tournament? Obviously, everybody here in OSU land is knocking on wood that they do. How far do you think this team can go, Dickie V?
Well, it depends on matchups, too, who you're going to play, and also the physical status of your team. I noticed they played again without Likely last night. He's a very key player. He's so strong defensively. He's really a guy that steals, assists. So the key is they got to get him back. What are the prognosis on him? Is he coming back?
Yeah, there's been a lot of mystery around him with sort of his injury. I believe he's just day-to-day now, and a lot of OSU fans here are just hoping that he's back soon. Obviously, two key games coming up, Baylor and West Virginia, huge matchups.
Yeah, those are dynamite teams. In fact, both are playing today.
Yeah.
I just did it on Twitter /DickieV. If people follow me, I have a lot of stuff on Cade on here. But I just did one a few minutes ago about West Virginia playing Baylor. I predicted during the game that, I don't know if you remember me saying, hey, I wonder if they can hear me in Waco, because I'm telling you now, Kansas is going to beat them, give them their first loss tonight when they play that game on Saturday. And right now, they're feeling the effects. There's no question. They got a terrific team, Baylor. They've done a great job, Scott Drew, and that program. But they're feeling the effects of a 3-week pause by COVID-19. And it shows right in their shooting. They, when they were 17-0, they led the nation in three-point shooting, 43.5, I believe it is, percent shooting the three. The last two games, I don't think they broke 25% against Iowa State, who had a fight to survive, and then the game with Kansas. That's what prompted me to pick Kansas to win, because the fact that you see them against Iowa State, that wasn't the Baylor team you knew, and certainly you could feel that the COVID played a little role in that situation.
Yeah, it definitely did. A lot of teams feeling the brunt of that. St. Louis was another team that sort of felt the brunt of that as well. Obviously, Travis Ford over there keeping with the local angle. Hey, Dickie V, let's hear a nice historic question here. Who's your favorite OSU basketball player of all time? Oklahoma State, I guess.
My Oklahoma State?
Yep.
Well, country. I just love Big Country. Are you kidding me? I love Big Country. And he did it with Eddie Sutton in '95, going as they did to the Final Four was really special. But he had something about him, He came in. He just was just a down-to-earth young guy. It was great to see him have the success that he had.
Yeah, and obviously Eddie Sutton's teams, Arkansas and Oklahoma State, they're both really two highly powerful teams right now. Both could maybe meet each other in the tournament. Would be cool after he gets in the Hall of Fame for them to two meet.
Yeah, I was so happy that he got in the Hall of Fame prior to passing. That really was good news when I got the call from his son. His son called me up, Sean Sutton, and said, I want you to know, because you've been pretty good to my dad all these years. He called me right after he got in, and it was really, an emotional thing, because he passed right after that. And just really was a terrific leader. He loved his time at Oklahoma State. He had great admiration, love for the great and famed Hank Eddie was special.
Yeah, he certainly was, right? And a legend here at Oklahoma State. Dickie V, last couple questions I have for you is who is your favorite non-Cade Cunningham player on Oklahoma State right now?
My favorite non? Oh, wow. Well, I'll tell you, the one kid shooting the threes in that second half that I had the game, Bryce Williams, was on fire, man. He hit 3 or 4 big threes in the second half against Oklahoma.
Yeah, he's a special talent, man. A lot of people right here now are hoping that he comes back for his final season here.
Well, I hope he does. He should come back. I'll tell you one thing, though, he had 4 big threes in that second half against Oklahoma. One of those games, the intensity and the unbelievable emotion and passion was so special, so unique. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tough matchups against OU for OSU recently. 2 really exciting Bedlam matchups. And Dickie V, last question for you is, tell the audience here what they can do to help kids with cancer with your foundation.
Well, I appreciate that, Ryan. There's nothing means more to me than that. In fact, Mike Boynton's been to my gala. I have a gala every year that we raise, millions. So we've raised so far $37 million. It's certainly not enough. If it was enough, kids wouldn't be dying from that disease. We had a number of youngsters that have been with me at the gala who have lost their lives. I've spoken at a couple of funerals. So anybody out there that has the financial wherewithal, can want to help us, please just go to dickvital.com. You can make a donation, or you can buy any of my my merchandise, books, basketballs, hats, and every dollar that I would make from that goes into my pot for the V Foundation for kids battling cancer. I'm proud to say, Ryan, at this moment, $37 million is what we raised, but it's not nearly enough what is needed. So please, for all those Cowboy fans to really rally to our help us help kids. You may end up helping somebody you love because more research is needed for pediatrics.
It certainly is. And Dickie V, I'm just going to say this. You are awesome, baby, for doing this.
Oh, no problem. I appreciate you guys calling me and putting me on. I only wish I had a little more time. Wasn't so rushed here because, like I said, this time of the year for me, March, man, I can't begin to tell you. Because, ESPN's more than just games. We got all kinds of platforms, radios, the whole bit. So, again, thanks a lot, Ryan. I appreciate coming on. I wish you all the luck in the world to Mike Boynton and the team. And tell Cade I said he's awesome, baby, with a capital A.
That's right, man. Thank you so much, Dick Vitale, joining us here. You have a great week and have a great March, Dick.
Thanks a lot.
See ya. And thank you, America, for joining us here on O'Colly Unreported. Stay tuned, because next up we'll have Joshua Cleary joining us on the program. Hi, OSU. I'm Ryan Novozinski. Novozinsky. Why is it spelled that way? Because I'm from New Jersey. I'm your editor-in-chief of The O'Colly, and I've got some news for you. Are you tired of living in the 1970s? Are you tired of getting paper cuts every time you read our printed product? Are you tired of the batteries in your Walkman running out? Are you tired of the guilt and shame of destroying forests whenever you read our paper? Well, boy, do I got some news for you. Our top scientists have developed a new way to bring our product directly to you. Is it on VHS? No. Is it on DVD? Get out of town. We're bringing it right to your mobile device. Are you cool enough to be a part of this electronic generation? It's called the E-Colly. Sign up for the E-Colly today. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to O'Colly Unreported, Episode 3. I know Dick Vitale just joined us over the phone. I know that. I know that's a high bar to match. But I think Joshua Cleary can do it. Joshua Cleary, the photo editor of the O'Colly, joining us today on O'Colly Unreported. Joshua, how old are you actually? I mean, I might have to ID this real quick, because you are 13 years old, aren't you?
I'm 18 years old, Ryan. You know that.
There are rumors. There are rumors that you are not, okay? I believe even a certain women's basketball player, who we will keep anonymous, said that you look like you're 13 years old. Man, is that true?
That story is true, but she was most definitely wrong. I'm 18 years old.
You know what? That's a good time then. Okay, that's a good time. Okay, so Joshua, aside from that though, how did you get to this point in your life? Okay, you're the photo editor now. Take us through your life journey with just a little brief summary.
Wow, sweet. So I was born in St. Louis. Family moved. Yeah, great city. Moved to Oklahoma when my dad got a job here, and went to school all the way up through high school, and really just got into photography and video near the end of high school and just fell in love with it. And sports has always been my main thing. Played t-ball since I was 2 years old, and baseball was really my first sport. Oh, man. Well, I guess you could say that, Ryan. And so I played baseball, basketball all the way through high school, and sports and photography was my thing. So I was like, sports media is what I want to do. And look, I think there's 4 or 5 schools in the United States that has a sports media degree, and Oklahoma State was one of them, and came and visited campus and absolutely loved it. And met the great John Helsley and Kelly Kerr on my visit, and
definitely got to get John on here.
And
one day.
Man, that would be fantastic.
That's just a thinking out loud type of moment.
Yeah, and just fell in love with this, and got to know John and talked to him, and he told me what he thinks my potential is, and that he believed in me, and so I want to work for somebody who believes in me and always has from the beginning. So, I mean, John most definitely has done that. So that's how I'm here now.
Here's what I think is funny about there's a weird connection between the city of Stillwater, okay, if you want to call it a city. I think some people from a certain town in Wyoming might want to call it a city, and the city of St. Louis, which most definitely is a metropolitan area, okay?
Oh, yeah.
There's some weird connections between the two because I feel like there's an elite group of people that share connections between the two towns, okay? Specifically you, okay? Specifically Dean Rule, okay? He's another one of our good journalists here at the O'Colly.
Yeah.
Mayor Will Joyce has connections to St. Louis, okay? John Helsley, I think, has connections to St. Louis,
yeah.
our advisor, okay? Great reporter for the Oklahoman for a couple years, 30 years.
Wow.
Let's see, who else is there? We have a former professor named Shane Graber, who has, I believe, St. Louis ties. I think he works there now. There's so many people that you have that are just elite of the elites.
Yeah.
What is it about you guys with that St. Louis connection in Stillwater?
And St. Louis, I mean, it's just an awesome place, and of course, you just listed absolutely amazing people that are here now. Yeah, and no, St. Louis just, I think, especially because at the time I was there, they had a professional baseball team, professional hockey team now that's won a Stanley Cup, and they had the St. Louis Rams there too.
Man, rest in peace.
And I know, rest in peace. I mean, they were never ours to begin with.
No.
They just went back to where they belong. And but no, I think that, and then growing up in sports there and being surrounded, especially with Major League Baseball, is absolutely the biggest thing in St. Louis. And I think that just really grew on everybody, especially the people working in sports like John and Dean and me now. And I think that's just like part of the culture that's drawn that.
All right, so you were a baseball player, from what I understand, okay? You tell me all the time. You could have played in the big leagues, man.
Not the big leagues. Maybe Division II, but...
Division II. Let's hear about it. Joshua Cleary on the mound. What is it like?
Well, I was never the guy who could throw the fastest fastball, or that was never my thing. I was much more a off-speed heavy pitcher. But, I mean, I faced funny stories. OSU commit this upcoming year, Ian Daugherty, he goes to Kingfisher High School. He'll be here next year. He's a catcher.
Sweet.
I faced him twice. The first time I faced him in regional playoffs, I struck him out, and then he hit an absolute bomb off me the second time. So, I mean, I couldn't. There's a reason why he's going to play baseball here next year, and I totally understand. If giving up that home run got him a scholarship and paid for his tuition, then I guess it's worth it.
It was you, baby. You did it.
I
You
gave
are
him
the
free
moneymaker
college.
for this college, okay?
Exactly.
So speaking of that, okay, we need to talk a little bit more about this journalism thing, okay?
Oh, journalism.
So Joshua, from my assessment, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe I'm just being a sensationalist here, but I think you're living your dream right now. I think you love what you're doing.
I absolutely love what I'm doing.
I guess paint that picture for us. What is it like to be here, to be with OSU athletes, to be, surrounded by trusting your vision? Look at your sweatshirt right now.
Look at this.
O'Colly, trust your vision, okay?
Get yours soon.
Get yours soon. Yeah. Okay? Tell us what it's like.
Man, it's been awesome. Like I definitely think with COVID I was a little bit hesitant on if I was going to get to do things that I was expecting or really wanting to do. But everybody's really pushed me to go and make it happen. Whenever we didn't think we were going to be able to do something, just finding a way. And that's always what John has told me is like, you can find a way to do it.
Yeah.
And so I went out. I've tried to get into as many games, soccer, basketball, baseball, football, whatever I could do to keep doing what I love to do. And I've just tried to make it happen. And this semester, John, and you trusted me as photo editor, and I've tried to do my best and communicate with everybody the best possible way I can, and just try and let everybody experience that joy of getting to do what they love this semester. Yeah.
Yawn. Come on, man. Tell us the glory of this stuff, man. No, I'm kidding. We love it. We love that you're here. But, I mean, look at the back of your sweatshirt. Show the cameras. Okay? Show the cameras real quick.
Here we go. Which camera should I? This one? Shoot.
Content. It's all about the content,
All
Joshua.
about content.
Brag for us a little bit, man. Tell us, like, what are the perks of your job?
Wow. Well, last week I got to have the chance to go and shoot Bedlam at OU.
There you go.
Was amazing. Had the chance to go and talk to multiple players. Created relationships with them. Well, even though it's not in person, it can't be in person. But like just getting to communicate with players and athletes and really get a sense of who they are and not just be someone that's like, here's photos, but actually just investing in them and being like Rondell Walker. I've known him since beginning of high school, and before every game I'll text him and wish him luck and make sure he knows that, like, no matter win or loss, what's going to happen, like, I'm not just there to give him photos and get followers off of if he tags me or not. Like, I'm there because I'm just a guy that cares about him, and I think that's something that I do and connect with athletes in a way that isn't just all for the followers. That's something that I've really tried to input into my brand and really show that I'm invested in them and not just in it for the likes.
This guy's gonna make me cry today. It's gonna make me cry, man. This is awesome. This guy's awesome. So let me ask you. So I think that's how you do with sort of the, your generation is that, and I know there's only a couple of years that separate us, but I think you guys thrive in the technological world. Okay, I think this pandemic has been able to, it's been fast tracked by people like your generation, right? Where you're still able to build those connections despite living in a virtual world. How has that been for you? How has the virtual OSU experience been for you?
Wow. I mean, I won't lie. Whenever I got here, I was pretty upset, and I was frustrated that I wasn't going to get to experience it the way, because I thought, okay, well, my senior year got ruined, and I didn't get to have my baseball season. I didn't get to go to prom. I didn't get to do all these things that you'd usually get to do. And I was like, Oklahoma State will give me a chance now to have a great freshman year. And then it's all been online too. Haven't got to go to class in person. I've had, at the beginning of the semester, I had, I think, 4 of my 5 classes were planned to be in person.
Yeah.
And then by the time I got back on campus, only one of them was. And it just really, like, just having to figure out how to plan for yourself. And that's something I've always definitely had a struggle with.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's taught me that I got to get better and find different ways to improve, and that even though I might be strong in one aspect of technology, then learning how to do school in that way is something I've had to adjust to. And I'm doing pretty well right now. There's still some classes that are kicking my butt, but I'm just doing everything I can to make it work.
I think you're doing a good job, man. I think you're doing a good job. Tell us what else you do, though, besides photography. We all know, we all see the videography, we all see the photography. I saw you last night call a play-by-play game, okay? You can do it all, can't you?
Man, I did play-by-play. That was what I did first. That's what I loved doing from freshman year of high school. I was calling our high school basketball and football and volleyball. Volleyball was my favorite one to call.
Wow.
Play-by-play. Yeah, it's super high energy, super fast pace. And I just loved doing that. And then I started bugging my teachers because I started seeing other high schools have wireless transmitted video feed for their live streams from, like, the court level. And I was like, we got to do this. We got to, like, get someone on the court and add that to our live stream. It just add another angle, another sense of depth. And I was like, I want to learn how to do that. And they never ended up implementing it, but we started filming from the sideline, and I just started to fall in love with being behind the camera rather than in front of it or on the air audio-wise. And I just love doing that. and then my basketball career started to not go so hot.
I don't know, man. I think your basketball career is as hot as it's ever been right now. When it stands
in a different way.
When you're in the O'Colly leagues, okay, when that finally comes back, we need you, man.
Oh man, that'll be a good time. I can't wait. But yeah, so I started to my varsity minutes slipped and started to go down, and I really I wanted to keep going on the road trips. Those were my guys. Those were the people I enjoyed being around, and I just started to miss doing that.
Yep.
So I talked to my coach, and I was like, hey, if I do photography and video, can I keep going on the trips and everything? And they're like, we don't see why not. So I started doing that. It was the regional playoffs of 2019. So I was a junior in high school. Right about this time, we're about to start tonight. I'll be going back down to film my high school's playoff game, and so I think it's almost like a year or 2 years ago today that I filmed my first video by myself, and I watched YouTube tutorials the night before, just learned the basic camera settings, and went for it and made that first video. Loved it, and everything's from there is history.
The rest is history, and
Yeah.
you're still making history as it stands right now. Joshua Cleary joining us here on O'Colly Unreported. Joshua, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Brian.
And America, thank you for joining us too. We know you can mingle with other programs, but we're glad you mingled with O'Colly Unreported.